Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to my deep guide. Today we're gonna attempt something and we'll see how it actually turns out. Onyx Boox products have a bit of a notoriety as far as the screen protectors go, because anywhere you go on Facebook groups or comments or anything like that, people end up with air bubbles and very imperfect application of the screen protectors on the devices. Now, as many of you probably know, I don't use a screen protector on my Nova 2. Simply because I've tried it on another device and I didn't really like the feel of it, and I don't like screen protectors because they also add another layer and all that kind of stuff. However, I was intrigued when I saw that quite a lot of people are having quite a lot of difficulties, even people who have quite a bit of experience with this thing. I have some experience with applying screen protectors under my belt, so I wanted to see how difficult this guy is and if I can get an okay result or not. So let's check that attempt out. Alright, so basically this is what you'll need for properly applying a screen protector onto your device. Of course you need the device and the screen protector, but you need two more things. You need something to apply gently but in a uniform way. So you need an object that has a straight edge that's roughly the width of your item that you're actually applying the screen protector on, but it should not be sharp. That's one of the very important points. It can't be totally sharp and it shouldn't be metal, because it will probably then damage your screen protector, which is not what you want. So for me, usually CD cases work perfectly. And you also need a dry microfiber cloth. If your device is stained and it has a lot of stains, then you can use a screen cleaning solution and a screen cleaning cloth. But then after you're done cleaning your screen, be absolutely certain that you let it dry properly. And then again, you need to use the dry microfiber cloth. Why the dry microfiber cloth? Because it's the absolute best thing to clean your surface from small particles of dust, which is the exactly what you need to do. Now, the small particles of dust will continuously build up on your device. So depending on how long you've waited between the last time you cleaned the device and everything like that, you may need to wipe it up again. You go over the surface of the entire device to make sure that there are no spots, dots, or anything like that. And of course, no hairs or anything larger like that, because any imperfection is going to increase the likelihood of having an air bubble. So now this surface is looking pretty clean and good, so I'm just gonna leave it here. And now the Onyx Boox screen cover. It has two sides and it has two steps, the red step and the blue step. The red step is the step 1 and it says please peel off this mask before application. So this means that this mask, once you start peeling it off, it's going to go face down. So step 2 needs to be facing you when you start applying this down there. So first you need to do a couple of test runs without taking anything off, simply to double check things and to see how you want to go about this. So let's say that this is roughly fitting nicely. Now the important part here is to actually judge how closely does the screen protector fit the device, so that you know where to place it and how to place it so that it actually works well. So for me, I'm gonna start my placement from the top. So I'm gonna flip the device up here and I'm going to start the placement from the top here. I'm gonna make sure that we have enough room. So this is a very tight fit. The process is like this. You don't peel off the whole thing. No, you peel off a small portion here, like 2-3 centimeters, and you don't bend it, you roll it over. The idea is that we just apply the first section here, and the rolled over starts going backwards. And then we use this thing to equally actually apply the pressure all around, and you basically squeeze out the air bubbles as you apply. So by the end, when you actually arrive at the end, you should have no air bubbles whatsoever. Now, since we've been doing this fitting and all that kind of stuff, before you do the actual application, you really have to wipe off, you need to wipe off your device, because likelihood is that it actually got some dust on yet again. I'm gonna start peeling off step 1. Okay, flip it over, and very, very, very carefully try to apply correctly. First one corner, and then I'm gonna try and see if I can align the second corner. I'm gonna apply slight pressure. Now you can see that immediately it wants the air bubbles to be there. So that's where the CD comes into play, and we start pushing those air bubbles off. Now this is a very stubborn screen protector, so the combination of it being very slippery, so let's try one more time. Okay. Right, so let's see, what do we get now? I want to apply a little bit here and see what can we do with the air bubbles that are already formed. Or if these are dust particles, that's the thing. Looks like, yeah, those are some dust particles that are there. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like these types of screen protectors. So let's try and wipe it off again. Right, so let's see what can we get here. Now, this is not the best screen protector that I've seen, and it might not be possible to actually get a proper air bubble free application, because the way it's sticking is not ideal. Right, let's try and see here. Okay, so let's try and commit to this now and start going on the corners, the edges, little by little, and then checking stuff out to see what we get. Yeah, that's not gonna work. This is really, really bad, and it's because of this guy on top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna screw their advice. I'm gonna take this off, and I'm gonna start applying it properly, because that top is the one that's pulling it where I don't want it to go. And now let's try properly. And as I'm going to press here and there. Oh, this is a terrible screen protector. Okay, so that is it. All right, I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna try and apply it along the longer edge, which is usually more difficult, but this guy is not really giving me much options. And at this stage, so what, you're just supposed to let it apply itself and then hope for the best. Yeah, that doesn't work. We're supposed to get all of the air bubbles out, but they just continually are there, and any source of dust is simply going to create very large air bubbles because it has that, air quotes, papery feel. And yeah, this just doesn't work. I don't see how can anyone apply this without air bubbles in a non-hermetically sealed environment. That's like, you need lab type of conditions to be able to apply this without air bubbles, and yeah, that's just silly. So yeah, I'm not gonna be using this. I was curious to actually try it out and see, because I've heard that it's notoriously difficult to apply Onyx Boox screen protectors, and yeah, I can most definitely confirm that that's most certainly the case. I've applied dozens and dozens and dozens of different screen protectors on different devices, and I've never ever had this much problems or this much air bubbles. So either it's the surface of the screen or it's the screen protector itself, but I was curious to try it out simply because so many people were complaining about that, and since I never use screen protectors on Onyx Boox devices, then I was just curious to actually see what's what and how that works. And yeah, most definitely this is a really bad experience. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to try and squeeze these out to the corners to see if I can get rid of as many as possible, and I am going to leave it for a couple of hours to actually see if the bubbles start going away or not. If they don't start going away or getting smaller in size after a couple of hours, then they're not going to go away at all. So, and that's most likely the case because this is not that type of a screen protector. It's not elastic, and it's very stubborn and really difficult. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it for a couple of hours, see what happens, and then most likely I'm just gonna take it off, and that's that. Well, that was not a complete disaster, but certainly not good by any means. So I'm going to be taking off that screen protector as I imagined. And as I said during the video, I've never experienced a screen protector that's as stubborn as this one. It's just incredible because it's reacting to most ridiculous types of things, and I think it's because it's that paper feel, so it's not as elastic and not as plastic and not as shiny as a normal screen protector would be. I think that structure itself is making it more prone to air bubbles and more sensitive, because no matter what I did, a tiny speck will just create a really large air bubble. Sorry I couldn't really help, but at least we failed together. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and consider taking off the Facebook, Instagram and Twitter thingies because it really does help. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!